Welcome to the Nancy Levin Show. I'm Nancy, founder of Levin Life Coach Academy, author, master coach, and your host. This is the show for people pleasers, perfectionists, and high achievers who feel like there must be more to life than checking off boxes and being productive. So if you are seeking a reinvention, big or small, you are in the right place. If you love what you hear on this podcast and want to dig deeper into your own reinvention, you are in luck. I've just opened the doors to the Permission Project. This is my transformational 9-week group coaching program where I will help you move out of living on autopilot into living the intentional, fulfilling life you want. Inside, I will guide you through my proven process, my proven framework, so you can release what no longer fits and confidently step into the future you want without guilt or fear. So head on over to nancylevin.com/join to get all of the details and to say yes to you. It is time for you to take center stage in your own life. No more hiding, no more shrinking, no more abandoning you. And I'm here to help you get exactly what you want. All right, let's dive into today's episode. If you have ever looked at your life and thought, on paper, this looks good, so why doesn't it feel good? Then today's episode is for you. If you are tired of people pleasing, if you're exhausted from perfectionism, if you've built a life that looks successful on the outside but feels empty on the inside, then this is the moment everything begins to shift. Because today we're talking about permission. And we're not talking about the kind of permission that someone else gives you. We're talking about permission that you give yourself. Because there's a very particular kind of exhaustion that comes from living a life that isn't truly yours. You know what I'm talking about. You're a chameleon. You say yes when you want to say no. You over-deliver to prove your worth. You chase goals that impress other people. You silence your desires because they feel inconvenient or selfish or unrealistic. And somewhere along the way, you lose touch with what you actually want. Not what you should want, not what makes sense, not what looks good, but what you want. And the truth is, many high-functioning, capable, accomplished people are quietly living on autopilot. They're navigating change without a compass. They're performing instead of embodying. And here's the deeper truth. Clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from giving yourself permission. I want to share something that a coaching client of mine recently told me because I know it resonates. It was true for me, and it's true from so many clients I work with. She said she realized she had spent most of her life being who she thought everyone else wanted her to be. And it was so automatic that she struggled to even identify what she wanted. So really let that sink in. She wasn't confused. She wasn't incapable. She was disconnected. But as she began focusing on what she liked and what fulfilled her and what made her life feel purposeful and meaningful, what feels aligned, her decisions in business and life overall became clearer. She stopped spinning. She stopped overthinking. She stopped outsourcing her authority. And she said something powerful. The more I decide what I want, the better decisions I make about how I spend my time, who I spend my time with, what I do, and where my business and life is headed. Because that's what happens when you reclaim desire. You don't become reckless, you become aligned. And here's what I know after guiding thousands of people through transformation. Change doesn't stick without structure. Because motivation fades, inspiration fades, but skills, framework, support, that's what creates lasting transformation. Inside the Permission Project, my 9-week live group coaching experience, we walk through a proven framework for change. Week by week, we meet virtually in real time, and I coach you through the foundation of the 8 dimensions of reinvention. We begin with vision so that you can clear out everything you think you should want and focus on what you actually want. We move into calibration, where you identify incompletions that don't align so that you can adjust them. We look at your beliefs and rewrite the limiting stories that have been quietly running your life. We address self-worth so you can end the habit of trading your truth for approval. We move into boundaries so you can learn to say no without guilt and create space for what truly matters. We move into choice so you can make decisions that fuel the life you desire. Then we bring in self-confidence so you can build trust in yourself so you don't second-guess your every move. And then we move right into visibility so you can give yourself permission to be fully seen. This is not surface level work. This is identity level work. And it's designed specifically for perfectionists, people pleasers, high achievers who are ready to stop living in reaction mode and start living with purpose. So as you're listening, really take a moment to consider how your life could improve if you were willing to navigate change in any season with a repeatable framework. If you woke up with clarity instead of confusion, if you made aligned choices without spiraling into doubt, if you stopped numbing out with avoidance strategies, if you felt comfortable being more visible in your relationships and at work, if you were able to reignite your creativity and your curiosity and your joy, because this is not a fantasy. This is what happens when you stop abandoning yourself. And the most powerful shift I see again and again is this. When you feel worthy of your desires, you stop apologizing for wanting more. You stop worrying about what everybody else thinks. You move from guilt and uncertainty into clarity and confident, aligned action. So I know you might be thinking, I've done programs before. I've read the books. Why will this be different? Because most programs give you information and send you on your way. The Permission Project is different because it is happening live in real time. You are guided every single step of the way. It is structured and you feel supported. For 9 weeks, you receive weekly 90-minute live real-time coaching sessions with me, plus the replays afterward. You have a dedicated small group led by a mentor coach for accountability and personal attention. Weekly reflection prompts so the work integrates into your real life. You also get a private one-on-one coaching session with your mentor so you can see what you might be missing if you were to travel this journey alone. You also are part of a private community of people doing this work right alongside of you, because change is not meant to be done alone. You are too close to your own life to see it clearly. We all are. That's why support matters. Here's the deal. Everything I teach and coach comes from expanding upon everything I've learned and my own lived experience. There was a time when I built a successful, impressive life that still felt hollow. I was the event director at Hay House Publishing. I traveled the world with the biggest names in personal growth, producing live events. I overfunctioned. I excelled. I solved everyone's problems. In my marriage, I shrank my needs, and I ultimately lost myself. It wasn't until my marriage collapsed and I stepped away from standing behind others that I realized I had to learn how to stand in my own light. You do not have to burn your whole life down to make change. You do not have to wait for a crisis. You can choose clarity right now. You can choose alignment right now. You can choose you right now. And you might be asking yourself, can I afford to do this? And the better question is, can you afford to stay stuck? Because burnout comes at a high cost. Disconnection comes at a high cost. Living a life you've outgrown or a life that isn't even yours comes at a high cost. The Permission Project is an investment in the life you actually want to wake up to. And here's what I know. Every day you avoid change is another day you stay exactly where you are. Everything begins in this moment with one choice. You are worthy of living the life you desire. Not someday, not when you prove yourself, not when everyone else approves, now. And the Permission Project is your opportunity to move from autopilot to purpose, from self-abandonment to self-trust, from confusion to clarity. This is your invitation to say yes to you. If something inside of you is stirring, if you feel that quiet nudge, that is your desire speaking. And this time, instead of silencing it, listen. Visit nancylevin.com/join so you can join us inside the Permission Project. Change begins with permission, and permission begins with you. I'm so glad you joined me today. If what you heard resonated with you and stirred up desire for more, it's a great sign you are ready for the Permission Project. I'm currently welcoming people pleasers, perfectionists, high achievers, people who are ready to stop living on autopilot and finally live the life they deserve. Come join me in the Permission Project. This 9-week transformational experience will honestly change your life. This is your invitation to say yes to the life you want. Come see what's possible when you invest in guidance from a coach who has been in your shoes, a proven framework for change, and the community support and accountability you need to finally make choices that align with your inner desires. All the details are available at nancylevin.com/join. Doors are open until Friday, February 27th. Remember, nothing changes until you do. The first step is yours to take. I'll be back with you next week for more coaching and guidance toward your own reinvention. And remember, it all begins with saying yes to you.